Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Fred Birnbaum, Idaho Freedom Foundation. Circulating is a handout, and actually it's from the budget book. We stand opposed to this, and there are a few key reasons. The first one I would mention is that in the fiscal note, it says subject to appropriation 35 billion, and then it mentioned it's already accounted for in the budget. And I just handed you all a 2-page handout from the budget book, and there I don't see any line item in the governor's request. Now, just to be clear, this would be new spending, but this new spending is not covered in any of these line items. And there is a line item for weighted student funding formula, which approximates this money, but that's obviously been, I don't know if it's been earmarked, but there are a couple of bills in the works that have a claim on that. So either it's going to take that money or it's another 35 million. But I think that's really the problematic part of this. Really, schools should be focused on outcomes, and we're appropriating this year, last year as well, over $3.3 billion. So if we're appropriating over $3.3 billion, isn't that toward outcomes? Why do we need another bill and another 35 million? And if you look at the agency profile for public school support, I didn't hand that out, I'm just saying you could look in the budget book. There are about 30 different distribution line items. So again, this would be adding more money. And I think that fundamentally schools should always be focused on outcomes, and looking for another 35 million on top of the 3.3 billion, given that results have been flat. We just talked about that in the prior bill. This just seems actually to be rewarding the fact that we haven't had the outcomes that we want. So I would argue that anything that should be tried should come from no additional appropriation, but from the base. Thank you, and I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you. Senator Warren-Engelking.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Coach Vice Chair. I'll get this right yet. It's late in the day here, but just a comment. I would say that we've collapsed a lot of those line items that we've had in the past, and we do very well academically in when we're compared to other states, and we're 51st in funding per pupil. So I think we do very well with the money we're given, and our teachers have done an amazing job, and we have high schools that are in the top 10 in the nation. So I think we're doing okay. And I just wanted to make sure that we've collapsed a lot of those items that you were referencing.
All right. Thank you.
Can I respond to
sure,
comment, Mr. Chairman? Yes, well, you've collapsed a couple of them, but then you've added others, Mr. Chairman, Senator Ward Engelking, I'm sorry. And so I guess that really is less relevant than the fact that the governor even boasted about how much funding has increased. I think he said 80%. He's probably including some of the facilities because that's a very big number. But there's no correlation between spending and outcomes, even in Idaho. If you look at per pupil spending versus tested outcomes, it's not a correlation line, it's a flat line. So just saying that we should throw more money at it doesn't seem to improve results. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.